It is dawn, and a new day begins. Across the land, a wake-up call is heard, and in the towns and cities of America, entrepreneurs rise to the call. Time for new developments, new visions, new growth. It is time to move America forward.
Welcome to our series, Moving America Forward. Each week we'll be focusing on America's entrepreneurs as they take us to new roads, new opportunities, new ways to fill the gaps left by today's failing companies. Our series will be looking at that and a lot more. So come with me and watch as the entrepreneurs of our nation move into the future. I'm William Shatner, and you're watching Moving America Forward.
And I'm Doug Llewellyn here in our studios. Today we have one of the most interesting and innovative companies in America, and you're going to meet them and hear all about it. Our guest company is called Transact Payment Systems. They're headquartered in St. Petersburg, Florida, and our guest is the president of the company. His name is Ken Gruber. Ken, welcome. Nice to have you with us.
Thanks.
You know, a short while ago you had a chance to actually answer a couple of questions from William Shatner, and we taped it, so let's take a quick look at that right now and see how it went.
I know that you're deeply involved in the technology field, but what are some of your advancements, and how is it helpful to move America forward?
Mr. Shatner, what we do is automate the process of buying metal at America's scrap yards. We used advanced technologies that manage the cash, increase production, reduce fraud opportunities, and improve the critical recycling process. And in doing so, we help move America forward.
That was really interesting. You were talking about how you help scrap yards and you deal with scrap metal. Let me ask you a very quick question. Most people really know very little about your industry. I certainly don't. So what are the big problems that owners of scrap yards face today?
Well, when you own a scrap yard, you're taking in a lot of metal. There's a lot of people that are coming through your yard every day. You have to deal with paying those people for that metal, so you have to deal with a lot of cash. And there's a lot of government regulation as far as keeping a lot of the information from the individuals who are bringing you that scrap metal to make sure that this metal hasn't been stolen from any place.
And when we talk about scrap metal, give me an idea of what we're talking about.
Well, anything from aluminum siding to copper wire, copper tubing, that's considered like non-ferrous metals.
Right.
And then the ferrous metals, which we deal with a lot, are your cars, anything that's steel. They crush them in, and then they'll actually shred those cars, and they'll put a car through a pipe about that big.
You're kidding. No. All right. So what do you do then to help them out? What does transaction? The company Transact Payments. What does it do?
Well, we initially started in the scrap industry. We with the ATM machine. We worked with financial institutions and doing their ATM machines, and the scrap industry actually approached us and asked if we would make an ATM for them that would pay their peddlers so that they wouldn't have to have a cashier to manage all the cash.
So they don't have cash on hand. That's the big advantage for them, right?
Right. Well, the cash is actually on hand. It's on a machine inside a safe at the yard. So now instead of having a cashier who has to go to the bank and grab all this cash and bring it back and then be responsible for passing that cash all day and then manage that drawer at the end of the day, they simply load the ATM at the beginning of the week and they run all week paying their peddlers for the metal.
So that's a big advantage, number one. Number two, that you talk about all the security that is involved and the records that they keep. You help in that area too? Yes, we do.
In the beginning, when we started automating scrap yards, things like barcodes and the typical POS technology that was available wasn't being used in scrap yards. They'd write a hand ticket and they'd bring that to the window. There was a chance that the peddler might change the numbers before it got to the window. So the big advancement in the scrapyard was actually being able to take all the information at the scale. So we've developed a product called Scrap Dragon, and there are other products as well that do the same thing, that you punch in what the material is and it prints a ticket with all that information right there, so that it can't be changed. The ticket has a barcode on it. It's scanned at the window when they go up to get paid, and then they have a chance to review the information from that ticket.
Well, you know what? You have a laptop here on the desk with you, and you have some pictures. Let's kind of show how the system works. If you'll open the laptop, we'll get a picture, and talk me through exactly what it is we're looking at. Again, this is Transact Payment Systems, and this is an example, I presume, of one of your ATM machines.
Yeah, this is one of my customers that they have a. There's three products really. The
customer
Dragon.
is the chap with the beard in the front?
Well, no, he's the one who's pushing the buttons of what material is being put on the scale.
Okay.
So as that material is put on the scale, he picks the commodity. The system remembers the pricing and has specific pricing for that customer as well. So it'll run through, and then he'll be able to create a ticket there at the scale.
Does it identify the customer at the same time on that?
Yeah. There's technology where we scan the driver's license, and it'll pull all the data off the driver's license and add it to the record. So it's getting and there's laws where you have to have a fingerprint, and you have to have a signature signifying that it's my material that I'm selling you. So all this stuff has to be documented as you move through the process as quickly as possible.
That's pretty interesting. All right, so let's go. We saw another picture there.
We built this kiosk that has all of the devices in it. It has the driver's license scanner, your printer, your receipt printers, a barcode scanner, so that you can give the guy a keychain and he can come in and identify himself with his keychain the next time he comes into the yard.
Right.
So we built that all into a kiosk that's used at the scale.
All right. What's this we're looking at?
This is the actual front of the ATM machine.
Okay.
So once the ticket is complete and we're going to pay this individual, then that information is put on on a different receipt, on a payment receipt with a barcode, and the customer then self-service can go to in this case we have an NCR ATM machine where he would go and scan that ticket, and it basically just pays him the cash and the change and finishes the transaction. Again, scrap is the environment in scrap. There's a lot of peddlers coming through, so there's a lot of opportunity that somebody might, decide they want to steal the money. So what we've done is we've made it as secure as possible, and what we try to do is create the perception of impenetrability. So
that's what you do.
Yeah, exactly.
What is that? It's a cinder made out of cinder blocks.
Well, covered in steel. It's a steel building filled with concrete, and basically it's a vault. It's not going to let them in it. And the ATM itself is a vault too. So even if they were able to break into this building, the ATM is a safe.
Okay, very good. Okay. And then we have another picture. Oh, there you go. What are these we're looking at?
These are cameras that we use when you're going through the process of buying scrap. Every time you take a weight on the scale, we take a picture of that image. So in a ferrous, when the truck's coming in, ferrous process, we'll take a picture of the truck going in, a picture of the truck going out, a picture of whoever's paying this individual, making that barcode payment. We'll have a picture of that, a picture of the guy at the window, and a picture of him getting the money at the ATM machine. And then we splice that with all the video, so when law enforcement comes in and says, we have a suspect that we think that may have stolen material, we need all the information on him, they simply have to go to the
You've got a really good track record.
Right, and he can find that person and hit go, and it actually breaks down all the video, and it'll create an evidence DVD there, an unmanned.
Well, let me ask you some other. You can shut the laptop down. Where is this system being used at the moment?
Well, we currently have over 500 customers in the U.S. We're doing the product's broken down into categories. So somebody who would buy the Scrap Dragon product, they can buy that product alone. If somebody has a different scale system, they can buy the camera system to manage the security part of it and the law enforcement part of it, and then we also have the ATM machine, which could be bought as a separate product.
So you customize whatever the client needs. You come up with a customized solution for them.
Exactly.
It's all over the country. It's available all over the country. Apparently, you also said it's in use in Mexico and Canada as well.
Yeah. We have a couple sites overseas, and we see that as a good growth opportunity.
What about the training of this for the clients who buy it? Does it involve much training, and do you do that?
Yeah. Typically what we'll do is we'll put the computers at the site. They'll get a local computer company so that they have somebody there to help them. And then we take them through a 5-step training process and getting all their pricing and all their commodities, and then we help them interface that with their general ledger package. And then once they've completed that process and the computer's in place, they're pretty much ready to go.
What kind of reaction do you get from the clients who use the system once they've had it in effect for quite a while? What feedback do you get?
Well, it's pretty dramatic. If you go to a yard that was in a manual process and you actually automate it, everything from the scale back to the office, at the end of the day, there's no more work to do. When the last person leaves the yard, they don't have to go back and re-enter any of this data. They basically have all the reports, all their inventory all in place. So it's freed up a lot of time for a lot of people. I've had yard managers come up to me at the trade shows and say, thank you, I'm able to take a vacation now.
So, very positive reaction. I would also assume there are other markets that this probably could have applications for. Would I be right?
Well, what we're looking at doing is, because we've done so much work with the ATM machine and in the financial market, and we're basically working with people who, a large majority of the demographic are unbanked. What we're doing is we're taking the technology from the ATM machine and building a solution where somebody who is unbanked or underbanked could cash a check, pay his bills, then receive whatever money's left on the ATM. So that's what we see as our future.
Well, listen, that's a pretty fascinating story, and a very interesting insight into an industry that very few people know anything about. And obviously, you've done a lot to help them. Thank you so much for telling us.
Thank you.
I'm William Shatner, and you're watching Moving America Forward.
This organization represents companies across our great nation that embody the spirit, dedication, know-how, and can-do attitude which has made America the great nation it is today. And now let's present the Keeping America Strong Award.
Now it's my honor to present this prestigious Moving America Forward Award to Kenneth Gruber, the president of Transact Payment Systems of St. Petersburg, Florida, for the outstanding work that his company is doing to help keep America moving forward. Ken, it's a pleasure to give this to you. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. And it's an honor being here. And I just want to thank all the employees that work for Transact that makes it possible, and all the strategic alliances, the other scrap companies and the other scrap software companies we work with, and it's an honor. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thanks.
That's it for another edition of Moving America Forward. I'm Bert Tenzer. Join us again as we continue to bring you the entrepreneurs who move America forward.
I'm William Shatner, and for all of us at Moving America Forward, thanks for watching.